today we will start to get into some basics of rolling. And we can start to discern between rolling and falling. So when we're rolling, we're continuously having contact with the ground with some part of our body to kind of deload ourself and absorb the momentum or the force of impact that comes with it. Falling, on the other hand, is when we don't have this contact and we're kind of colliding with the floor in some sense. So firstly, this would be an example of rolling. Where I'm having this constant contact with the floor from the left side of my shoulder down to the right side of my hip. An example of falling would be this. Where I'm kind of losing this contact in some sense and not really rolling on all the segments of my body. So let's look at two basic rolls that we can use to get into the foundations of rolling and then kind of advance this task. So first of all, let's look at the forward roll. I like to teach this one from a stance of a fisherman squat. And this is to clarify to myself which shoulder that I'm rolling on. So if the left knee goes down onto the floor, I'm rolling on my left shoulder. So then I come forwards, either I lower myself with the hands or simply like this. From here, I would roll on my left shoulder. So I will shoot out my left arm and receive the floor with the right one. So I place myself gently on top of the shoulder. From here, I push myself upwards so the hips stack with my shoulders. And then I push forwards, try to roll onto the floor, forwards. And I can find myself in the fisherman squat in the end. Similarly, we can then enter the backwards roll from the same position. So from here, I sit down on my bum, I then roll onto the back. I shoot my leg backwards, and same formation as before, I shoot my left arm and I receive myself with the right hand. Receive the floor and I come up. And once from the front. And as you might notice, when I'm rolling on my left shoulder, I shoot my left arm to the side, but I'm also leaning my head towards the right. This is to make space for myself to roll on the back. Another roll that can be good to practice that we can then use to practice from different entries or different level of entries is the parkour roll. So from here we will not spread ourselves outwards like this. Rather I will keep my hands together and then create almost like a triangle. So I come downwards, I keep them inwards and close myself, and then I will roll on my wrist, elbow and shoulder. So like this. Forwards and backwards. And from here we can start to raise the level that we're entering from. This was more of a floor level entry. Now we can come upwards and maybe start from a lunge position and try to enter the floor from here. Push off, receive, and roll. And now we can basically practice this a bit more higher up. So from a high entry would be to start from the standing, then lunge into the position. As I'm reaching down towards the floor, try to make it clear towards yourself to reach backwards. This will kind of lengthen yourself and ease with the impact or the absorption with the ground. So from here, reach backwards, lunge as far as you can, receive, and come forwards. And from the backwards entry, fisherman, receive, just like this. You can even come up to standing when you do the backwards roll. And this will require a bit more push-off from your tricep and forearm. So think of it like a tricep extension. You're trying to lengthening yourself, pushing from the ground, but simultaneously you're trying to reach backwards with the leg. So that you get like a double lift from this up towards standing. Just like this. So these are just some basic forms of rolling, and we can take this even further and make it very complex. But start working out with these and really nail down the pattern. Once it becomes intuitive, I would maybe step on further. Thank you guys for today. This was a shorter one. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for next one.